The chaos begins before the bell even echoes its final ring. Ivan Shtyrkov, a man whose very presence seems carved from iron and folklore, doesn't walk into the cage, he storms into it like a Russian winter. Known as the Ural Hulk, has long carried the weight of myth around his name, towering, brooding, and unnervingly calm. He embodies that rare breed of fighter who doesn't just look dangerous, he is dangerous. But what separates Shtyrkov from the countless brutes who walk into cages with muscles and bravado is the chilling calculation behind every strike. When he fights, it's not for sport, it feels like a purge. This is not a highlight reel. This is a descent into something far more violent. The opening moments of his most harrowing battles show us a pattern: patience, pressure, punishment. Against fighters like Ibragimov, you might think you're watching a balanced affair. For the first few minutes, both men seem to test each other's distance, dancing lightly on their feet. But slowly, methodically, Ivan starts to close the distance. His hands aren't flailing, they're coiled like springs, waiting for a mistake. And then, with a thunderclap of a right, he detonates the calm. Ibragimov staggers, trying to pull Shtyrkov's granite thighs from his shoulders, but it's futile. You don't wrestle with a mountain. You survive it if you're lucky. When Ivan gets the back, it's never theatrical. There's no time for flair. He drills hammer fists like he's pounding nails into cement. The cage becomes a vice, compressing his opponent's options into nothingness. What began as sport becomes survival, and the referee becomes the only savior. The beatings don't stop because Ivan tires, they stop because someone steps in. But what happens when his opponent is not just a man but a legend? Rico Rodriguez, a former UFC heavyweight champion, steps in with more accolades than most fighters dream of. On paper, it should have been a chess match: youth versus experience, power versus pedigree. Instead, it was a massacre. Ivan doesn't approach Rodriguez with respect, he assaults him. He throws him into the ropes like a ragdoll, crashing into him with the force of a freight train. There's no mercy here, no slow unraveling. Just raw, blunt annihilation. Rodriguez tries to mount some resistance, but it's clear, his timing is gone. His balance non-existent. Ivan smells decay like a predator in the wild. He swarms, he claws, and when he mounts, it's the final nail. The crowd isn't roaring, it's watching in stunned silence, knowing this isn't just another fight. This is a man being physically dominated in a way that borders on cruelty. Rodriguez's legacy meets its wall, and its name is Ivan Shtyrkov, and yet, not every battle is one-sided. Enter Antonio Bigfoot Silva, a man no stranger to war. His name echoes through the annals of heavyweight chaos, a giant among giants. When Silva and Shtyrkov square off, the cage sags with tension. This isn't going to be a quick beatdown. This is going to be a collision, and it is. The opening round sees Ivan picking shots, testing angles, inviting chaos. But Silva, bloodied but not broken, lands a bomb that stops time. For a flicker, Ivan is human. He stumbles. Silva pounces. The crowd erupts as the Russian Hulk buckles. Silva is throwing shots from above, with all the rage of a veteran who refuses to fade. For a moment, it looks like Ivan might finally fall. But Shtyrkov isn't just durable, he's terrifyingly composed. Even under the heaviest barrage, he thinks he weathers. He rolls. And then, just like that, he returns fire. A right hand splits the storm and silences the roar. Silva stumbles, his legs rubber, and in the blink of an eye, the fight swings again. What unfolds in the final rounds is not just a contest of fists, but of wills. Silva, bruised and breathless, tries to create angles, to give himself any kind of edge. But Ivan stalks him with mechanical intent. Every step forward is a chapter closing, and by the time the final bell rings, the decision is unanimous. Not just in the judge's eyes, but in every stunned face around the arena. Ivan Shtyrkov is not just a fighter. He is an inevitability. But perhaps no opponent better reflects Ivan's shadow than the Englishman, the unknown soldier, who walked into the lion's den with courage but left with nothing but scars. This fight doesn't last long. It doesn't need to. From the first bell, Ivan owns the cage. The English fighter, brave, energetic, and defiant, tries to control range with low kicks, quick jabs, desperate movement, but Ivan is already inside his timing. Every kick is met with a counter. Every jab punished with hooks. The rhythm is off, the eyes are wide, and the will starts to crack. Shtyrkov lands a knee that could have dropped an ox, and it becomes obvious this isn't a contest. It's an execution. By the time Ivan gets top control, the fight is over in everything but name. Punches rain down with terrifying precision, not wild, not emotional, clinical, cold, final. The referee steps in not a second too soon, and the arena breathes again. The English fighter lays stunned, not just from pain but from the realization that he was simply not prepared for the storm that just passed through him. And yet, for all the brutality, there is something disturbingly elegant about Ivan's approach. He doesn't taunt, he doesn't shout, he doesn't celebrate like a man drunk on violence. Instead, he rises from his fallen opponents with the same calm he entered with. like a man who knew the outcome before the battle ever began. There's something deeper about his chaos, something that feels almost prophetic. This is why Ivan Shtyrkov's name spreads like a warning across the fighting world. He's not just another heavy-handed bruiser. He's something more rare and more dangerous, a fighter who knows he's dangerous. A man who has stood across from former champions, global veterans, and wide-eyed hopefuls, and treated them all the same, as problems to be solved, as obstacles to be crushed. Every KO in Ivan's reel isn't just a highlight, it's a statement. He doesn't just knock people out, he alters careers. He breaks rhythm, exposes weakness, and punishes hesitation. Fighters don't leave the cage with him the same. They leave slower, sorer, changed. Even as he continues to climb through the ranks of various promotions, there is a lingering question: where is the ceiling for Ivan Shtyrkov? He's faced UFC veterans, Pride legends, and hardened prospects, yet he still looks like he's holding something back, as if the real storm hasn't hit yet. And maybe that's the most frightening thing, because Ivan Shtyrkov isn't fighting like a man at the end of his rope. He's fighting like someone still sharpening the axe, still learning, still improving. The chaos we've seen so far, it may only be the opening act. So, when the name Russian Hulk is uttered in MMA circles, it's not said with mockery or casual fanfare. It's said with respect, with wariness, and with the understanding that when Shtyrkov enters the ring, something primal is about to unfold. Something that reminds us why we watch combat sports in the first place. Not for the technique, not for the belts, not even for the glory. We watch for the chaos, the storm, the moment where two men meet in the middle and only one walks away. And time again, that man is Ivan Shtyrkov. What do you think? Do you believe Ivan Shtyrkov has what it takes to conquer the world stage? Is he the most underrated heavyweight in the game, or has he just not met his true challenge yet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more brutal, dramatic stories from the fight world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the chaos is just getting started.